everyone, welcome to my channel. It has been a long while since I last posted any video, but today, I just couldn't hold back my excitement to share with you one of the bag that I just got today. As you can see, here I have two bags here looking pretty similar in style. For all those who are familiar with these bags, you will know that this is a Kelly, and specifically these are Kelly's 25 in pretty much similar kind of specs. They are all black Kelly 25. I did mention when I first got my first bag, which is this, is Kelly 25 gold hardware, retourne style in Togo leather. When I mentioned about getting this bag, right, I have made a comment saying that this is actually one of my most loved bags. I was very excited when I got this, but I also mentioned that my dream bag would be to get a Kelly 25 in sellier, but most of you would know, right, if Kelly 25 in sellier styles, it is typically in Epsom leather, and I would love to have a Kelly 25 in sellier style, but in chef leather, which is not available in the usual specs, except during special order, or what we call as the SO. So, as you can see here, which I want to share my excitement with all of you, this is the bag that I just got today. It's the Kelly 25 in sellier style, brushed gold hardware, chef leather. So this is what I just received as a special order that I made. I almost submitted my special order almost for maybe more than a year. So finally it has arrived. As you can see here, for those who may not be very familiar with the Kelly bag, both are very similar. They are both Kelly 25, both in the same size of 25 inch. Both are Kelly bags, which is the single handle bag, versus a Birkin, which is a double handle. Both are also in black. The difference, which is very, maybe very obvious, is that this bag is the retourne style, meaning, it is inside out stitching, versus this bag is the sellier style, which is the stitching is actually on the outside. So this is really the key difference, the retourne bag and the sellier bag. And the second one is that only available in special order. This is not just a gold hardware, but this is a brush gold hardware, which you only get it in the special order bag. So I'm really very excited, and just wanted to share and let you see the comparison between my first baby, or my first, which is the 25 retourne, and my new baby, which is the 25 sellier. Okay. Some of you may have asked, right? I know there's a lot of videos that you will see online describing between the difference between retourne and sellier. As you may see as is compared side by side. The retourne style, I know when people say, is this very casual? I know people usually say that retourne is more casual bag, which is true, but the fact that it's actually black, it's actually can be worn quite formally. But now when you actually compare side by side of the same color, you can surely see that the sellier bag is actually much more dressier, because of the distinct look, where you have the very distinct sharp edges, versus the retourne, which is more of the more relaxed look. A key question that may comes in is, how much can each of the bags store? Remember, both bags are all the same size, which is Kelly 25, right? So in the 25 inch. Maybe I'll first start with the retourne. As you can see, the retourne, the fact that this is also in Togo, you can see that the strap here is much more slouchy, is softer. The leather is also softer. So I would expect that a retourne would be able to style much more, versus say here is in sellier, and mind you, this is actually in chef leather, so versus the usual Kelly bag which is in Epsom leather. Chef leather, even though it has a it has a structured look, it is also less stiff versus Epsom. So if you have this the Kelly bag in Epsom, which is the typical order that you will get from the store, you would expect that this you know, be it the sangles or the bag or the leather, it will be much more stiffer. So what this means is that, as you can see, the retourne bag, as I say, is softer. You can see that the edges here, right, can be pushed out quite a lot. Whereas for the sellier bag, the edges are pretty much fixed. So I would have expected that the sellier bag, even before doing all these tests, would actually fit less versus the retourne bag. But let's try. So in my typical bag, and I'm not going to use the bag organizer for now so that you can see the real amount of stuff that you can actually stuff in a bag. You know, even without the bag organizer, because with bag organizers, it would surely you know, reduce the amount of stuff that you'll be able to put. Normally in my bag, when I'm carrying it, I will be carrying a wallet. So this is a BM wallet, and I do have two phones. So these are any bags to me is a requirement for me to have two phones, because one is my personal and the other is my work phone. And of course, you know, I would want to carry along a packet of bath tissues and my app, you know, my AirPods. So these are the critical stuff, and you know, sometimes I will have my car key along as well. Though nowadays, you know, I just use my phone to access the digital car key. Okay, I will stuff all these things in my Kelly 25, and I will show all of you here. As you can see, after I put it in my Kelly 25 in retourne, there's still plenty of room here, right? I can in fact put in, and this can be closed very comfortably. In fact, I could possibly put in another pair of sunglasses if I need, some cosmetics if I need as well, or you know, a shawl, a small little shawl that I may need to carry around in case, you know, the indoors is actually cold. So the Kelly 25 in retourne is actually very, very, very spacious. Okay, let me try to move all these things. Okay, I'll take this out and I'll try to move them into my sellier. Okay, let's see whether I can fit them and how does that look. Yes, I can surely still fit them in, and let's see if I can, you know, when I say fit them, usually that means closing, right? And then without actually creating any bulge. Yes, not a problem. I can put my two phones, my wallet, the wet tissue and my AirPods in. And this is the amount of space that you can see in the bag. It's still quite spacious enough to put, so it seems to like the sellier is sufficient for me in my day-to-day you know, kind of activities, but it is quite obvious that versus, I'll move back here again, versus the retourne, this surely has much more room. Okay, so for all of you who is trying to think, okay, minus the style, whether you would love to have a retourne bag or a sellier bag, or what I can say is definitely the retourne bag will fit much more, maybe I wouldn't say much more, just a little more than the sellier bag, just because, you know, as you can see here, it is expandable in that sense. versus the sellier is actually much more tapered, so you don't have much room for expansion. And note, this is actually much stiffer versus the retourne style. Um, but if you are thinking about which style suits you, assuming you just need to carry the bare minimum as I do, I would say that the sellier 25 would fit your daily essentials, your wallet, AirPods, tissues, phones, car keys, cosmetics, it will fit. Um, so it's really up to you to decide in terms of what you really liked. So I mean, that's all I have to share with all of you. Really, really very excited that I have this bag that to receive my special order. Oh, just by the way, how do you know that this is a special order? um, you see this horseshoe stamp. This actually shows that it's a special order, and it's just that it's me. I prefer to have everything in black, so I choose black. But I did do a verso, so inside is in gold, but from the outside, unless of course you're able to differentiate brush gold versus normal gold and the leather. Otherwise, this looks pretty much like your usual bag. All right, that's all I have for today. If you have any questions or want to know more about my special order journey, or questions about the bags, a question about the leather, given this is a chef leather, why do I actually want a chef leather versus an Epsom leather, how do I feel about chef versus Epsom versus Togo, feel free to leave me comments and in the comment section, and I'll try to get back to you as when I'm available. All right, that's all I have. You guys have a nice day. Bye bye.